New this morning, CBI is searching for a missing senior. 74-year-old William Ayersman was last seen walking on Monday night near Yarrow Street in Lakewood. William is 5'9", 170 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, a gray vest, and a thermal shirt. William has a cognitive impairment. If you see him, you're asked to call Lakewood Police at 303-980-7300.
Also new this morning, a bust of car thieves in Westminster turned up more than a dozen key fobs for other cars. Police posted these pictures after the bust. They say this began when they responded to reports of a stolen truck near 120th and I-25. They stopped the truck using stop sticks. The driver tried to run and the passenger tried to drive away with 3 busted tires. Officers caught them both along with a third person in the truck. That third person was wanted on several felony warrants. In the truck, police found more than a dozen keys and key fobs. All 3 suspects face charges of car theft and resisting arrest. Right now, police have not identified them, so we don't know when they will appear in court.
New this morning, right now, there is a petition making the rounds in Pueblo calling for a recall election on Mayor Heather Graham. The petition accuses Mayor Graham of stripping funding from nonprofits, retaliating against opponents through the use of police and fire personnel, and entertaining illegal ordinances that eventually led to the city paying unnecessary legal and attorney's fees. 2 students at CSU Pueblo spearheaded this recall petition.
It came to a head with the grocery tax, or the proposed grocery tax, because people are upset that it was even being entertained, especially in the socioeconomic climate that we have right now.
The city of Pueblo is facing a more than $8 million deficit for 2025. Mayor Graham claims the city has had shortfalls for the last 5 years, where it had to transfer money out of their general fund to balance the budget. If the recall committee is able to obtain a little more than 6,000 signatures, the mayor would either resign or there would be an election to replace her.
New this morning, City Council members in Woodland Park have voted to repeal the 1-cent sales tax that helps fund the Woodland Park School District. This is a surprise. Just days ago, the Woodland Park City Council voted to table the issue indefinitely. Now Woodland Park schools are scrambling to find the lost funding. On Friday, council members say they were shown a resolution from the Board of Education dealing with the sale of its charter school, Merit Academy. The board stipulated that if the City Council voted to repeal the sales tax, the district would sell the building for free. If the sales tax was left alone, the board would obligate that 1.09% tax to stay in place for the next 3 decades throughout the building's contract of sale. The secretary director of the school district says he regrets how the board's presented its resolution, adding that public comment should have been done first. The city will now just have a flat 3% sales tax effective immediately.
7:07 now, taking a live look at our nation's capital this morning. Today, lawmakers in the House could vote on a new funding bill to keep the government open past Friday's deadline. The bill provides funding through the fiscal year. It cuts about $13 billion in domestic spending and adds money for defense and for immigration and customs enforcement. House Democrats say that they will be united in opposing this plan. They're pushing their own bill that does not include the Republican cuts. Without Democrats, Speaker Johnson can only lose 1 Republican vote. Kentucky Representative Thomas Massey says that he opposes the GOP plan, and a few other House Republicans appear to be up in the air.
Ontario, California is moving forward with a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to 3 U.S. states. The province's premier, Doug Ford, says the surcharge will cost families and businesses in New York, Minnesota, and Michigan about an extra $100 per month. If President Trump adds any new tariffs on Canadian goods, Ford says he will shut off the electricity completely.
Believe me when I say I do not want to do this. I feel terrible for the American people, because it's not the American people who started this trade war. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. I'd rather be working together.
Last week, President Trump threatened new tariffs on Canadian lumber and dairy products. Then over the weekend, Trump said tariffs from some goods from Canada and Mexico could rise above the threatened 25%. He says those tariffs will take place next month.